Welcome back to Math Methods. And guess what? We're actually in a different module this week. This is the module that will help us as we build a bridge between all of our work with number operations into the area of mathematics called geometry. Now, geometry literally means to measure the earth. Geo, earth, metre, measure. And so it would come as no surprise to think that geometry and measurement are going to be closely intertwined. And as you read the two chapters from Van de Waal, I'm hoping that you caught that indeed geometry and measurement really are closely related to one another. And in fact, one can be used as the introduction to the other, as we're doing in this case. Now, the activity that you performed in filling in the room will give you a little bit of background into this connection. And I was pleased to see how many of you were able to see the review potential here in terms of computing volume and area and using those definitions as a way of leveraging forward. I hope you noticed also that when we dealt with multiplication division as an operation, we actually use the area definition to help develop multiplication concepts. Again, we're seeing this connection between arithmetic operators and geometric concepts, where geometry can be used to inform the concepts of arithmetic, and then the arithmetic procedures can be used to help further explore geometric concepts. We're going to build on that quite a bit in this week and in the weeks to come. But immediately, what I'd like you to see is that there is a very strong connect between geometry and measurement. And so this week, we're going to focus more on building the number connection. And then during our asynchronous work next week, we'll focus a little bit more in terms of pulling together the pure geometry, if you will, and using that as a way of exploring geometry concepts for their own sake, not just as they inform our number operations and our thinking about number. The other thing we're going to be doing this week is looking more carefully at the division by 9 problem. And in doing so, we're going to be using this as an opportunity to draw a strict contrast between the firm developmental approach of Piaget and the more social dynamic approach as advocated by Zoltan Dienes and as expressed in the thinking of Vygotsky and Davidoff. And so, you know, this should be a good opportunity for us, provided you did your homework. And what I mean by that is if you actually immersed yourself in that problem enough to where you thought about how you would show this way of computing remainders through use of the base 10 blocks. Because if you have done that, then you will be able to benefit from someone else's discussion. In this case, a 5th grader. So having said that as an introduction, we will begin by looking more carefully at the division by 9 problem. We will then look at ways in which real-world events can be used to create number and number operations. And we will then give a prelude, if you will, in terms of our thinking about geometry and how we're going to be exploring that in the weeks to come.